not delay, I guess, and hope that quorum arrives. So it's 7 o'clock, and I will call the Neighborhood Board number 12 meeting for January to order. And we'll start out with a roll call with the neighborhood assistant, Soydel.
Member Iona. Here. Member Isley. Turkey's not here. Member Grid. Kathy.
Here,
Yes.
but she's not
Member
responding.
Hidano. Yeah. Member Hidano. She's here, but she's not responding. So let's see. Member Kurashige. I think she's. Member Lee. I don't see him. Mike, you're here, Vice Chair. Member Larry Smith.
Present.
Thank you. Member Patrick Smith.
Present.
Thank you. Member Young.
Present.
Thank you. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 6. So no
Okay,
quorum right now.
Yeah, I believe quorum is 8, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so no quorum, but we can listen to the reports. So let's go ahead and start with status reports. Honolulu Fire Department. I saw Lieutenant O'Neill is here.
Good evening. This is Captain John O'Neill from Nuʻuanu Fire Station. Going to go over the incident statistics for 2025. For fires, there was 6 activated alarms, no fire, 0 structure, wildland, nuisance, or cooking fires. For emergencies, there were 73 medicals, 5 motor vehicle crash collisions, 3 mountain rescues. Finish it off with a fire safety tip, electrical safety in the home. Plug 1 heat producing appliance, coffee maker, toaster, etc. into a wall receptacle outlet at a time. Major appliances, refrigerators, dryers, stoves should be plugged directly into wall receptacles. Electrical cords should not be running across doorways, and extension cords are intended for temporary use. Do not use them for permanent wiring. That's it for December. Any questions?
Thank you for your reports. Can we ask questions? Neighborhood Assistant Zoidel, can we ask questions
Yes.
without quorum? Okay. So are there any questions
yes.
from the board? I see no questions from the board. Are there any questions from the public?
None.
It looks like you get off easy, Captain. So
All right.
thanks. Hopefully you'll see you next month.
Thank you guys very much. Evening, Tabs.
Hey, how's it, brother?
Okay.
Have a good night.
Okay, continuing on, we have reports from the Honolulu Police Department, District 1. Is there anybody here from District 1? I see
I'll
three
mute my
officers. Okay.
Good evening, Sergeant Kasparov from District 1, and the following is the stats for the month for December. We have motor vehicle theft. This month is 6. Previous is this month is 5. Previous is 6. Burglary this month is 5. Previous is 3. Theft is 7 this month. Previous is 3. UMV this month is 6. Previous is 2. Assault, we have 3 this month, and previous is 0. Sex assault this month is 0, and previously is 0. Graffiti, we don't have any this month, and previously we don't have either. And drugs, 0 for this month and previously. We have motor vehicle collisions, 21 this month, and previously we have 27. Total calls for service this month is 595, and previously is 567. And there's no criminal breaches to report this time. I would like to mention that nightly enforcement along parks in Makiki Punchbowl area have continued to keep the number of park closure violations down, to which we approximately issued about 10 criminal citations for park closure in the month of December. District 1, Sector 1 and 2 officers continues to engage with speeding enforcement along Poly and along H1. Also, District 1 also continues to participate with the Safer Road programs, where officers engage with citing citing drivers for cell phone, speeding, and other unsafe acts that drivers commit. We are continually asking that our community be more cognizant of their driving, to educate their families and friends of any unsafe acts while driving. We already have 4 fatalities this month, compared to same thing as last year. So we're keeping track. I mean, hopefully we deter these bad driving habits. Okay. The safety tip for this month, again, is gonna be in regards with driving. So pay attention to driving at all times, and be aware of your speed. Also, District 1 is hosting a Coffee with a Cop on January 27th from 08 to 1000, Starbucks at Alamoana near Dave and Buster's. At this time, I'm gonna yield back the rest of my time to for any questions.
Okay, thank you, Sergeant. Are there any questions from the board for District 1?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead, Member Young.
Yes, ma'am.
You're recognized,
Do I
Sylvia. Go
have the
ahead.
floor?
Yes, you do.
Oh, okay, thank you. Have, did we have any fireworks violation in our area?
We did have an arrest that New Year's Eve. We have one arrest from District 1, ma'am.
Was it in the Pa'o district?
No, it's more like in the Makiki side, on the lower Makiki.
Oh. Is it too late to complain about our neighbors?
No, you still can call. Just call 911 whenever you see any fireworks violations.
Oh, there was on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day
Correct.
with aerials. Okay, and my second question is, has anybody complained to the police department about a homeless person that is allowed to sleep in the driveway of the business that's on the corner of Paoa and Kaniali Avenue?
Owa and Kanili. As far as I was concerned, I haven't gotten that call, and that is my sector. So I will check back with my officers. But if they observe it or whoever's observed it, just call 911 and we'll clear it out for you guys.
Oh, because there's the property owner of that store, which used to be the dog academy. Yeah, the dog grooming academy.
Mm-hmm.
That new owner has allowed a homeless person to sleep in the driveway that's on the side of the Kaniali'i Avenue side. And the neighbors across the street complained to me last week about the person staying there. And the problem is that he uses that driveway also for his bathroom, and they can smell the urination and, across the street. And so they were complaining about it. And I told them, get on, the neighborhood board meeting was tonight. And I told them to get on and tell you folks about it. What's been happening on that site. Don't just wait until I go to the beauty shop and you tell me, that's what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So-
the problem with that too, ma'am, if it's a private property, we cannot really enforce anything that's private. And if the owner's allowing that person to stay there, we cannot violate the rights of that person.
Yeah, but it's a health violation because, what's their recourse?
Maybe you could check back with the state for when they do their checks. for businesses. You know, if they deemed it health violation, then they could cite the owner for that.
Okay. I thought about calling CORE to see if they could help, but I don't know.
I think
So,
that's the
okay.
best recourse. I mean, like I said, it's just so hard for us to enforce something that's private property.
Mm-hmm.
Unless the owner herself, tell us, hey, I want this guy out, then we can do something about it.
Yeah, because I think that person used to sleep on the Powell Road side on the sidewalk, and I don't see him there anymore, nor do I see the woman that was sleeping there anymore. But then the neighbors told me he's around the corner, and I don't pass that area. So I guess it's just up to those neighbors that are affected to call. So I'll have them, I'll tell them what they need to do.
Okay.
Okay, I'll pass the word on.
Okay, thank you, Member Young. Are there any other questions from the board for District 1? Okay, not seeing any. Let's move on to the public. Are there any questions from the public for District 1?
Yes, we do have one in person.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Joseph Chu, and I'd first like to thank District 1 HPD Sergeant Casabar and Lieutenant Atiko for stepping up the speed limit enforcement on the Pali Highway. For the third consecutive month, I have seen officers poised on the highway, monitoring drivers and issuing citations. I also wanted to thank Senator Carl Rhodes for doing everything he can to have the Pali Highway included in the next rollout of speed enforcement cameras in 2026. Thank you, Senator Rhodes, for writing a letter to the Department of Transportation Director, Ed Sniffen, on behalf of all of us who live and work on the 2-mile strip of the Pali Highway. Hopefully, the Director of Transportation will be able to utilize the funds this year and have the Pali Highway included in the speed camera enforcement. I also wanted to thank Senator Rhodes and Representative Jenna Takanouchi for meeting with me this past Sunday to discuss this issue. I know they were very busy. Tomorrow the legislature is opening, but they came and we met and we spoke among dozens of their constituents. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions or comments from the general public for District 1? Okay, not seeing any. Thank you for your report.
Thank you.
We'll see you next month. Moving on, we have a representative from District 5, HPD.
Hi, good evening. Sergeant Tabanera with District 5. Going to read off the statistics for December of 2025 for you folks. And once again, Happy New Year. I think this is our first meeting for the year, so Happy New Year, everyone. Okay, so for our statistics for December, we had 0 aggravated assaults, which is equal to what we had in November. We had 2 auto theft reports on December in that area, compared to 0 in November. We have 4 burglary reports compared to 0 in November. We have no robbery type cases, which was matching what we had in November. Also, we had no sex assault or rape type cases for December, which also matches November, which is great. Our simple assaults, we're at 3, 1 up from what we had in November. Theft reports, we're up at 6 for the month of December, compared to what we had in November, which was 2. And our UEMV, which is car break-ins, we have 3, which is up from 2 in November. Our total calls for service in December was in the area was 801 compared to November, which was 828. And additional stats for our speeding statistics in the area of Pali. For December, we had 43 speeding citations issued for the area of Pali, which would be from Wiley all the way up to the tunnels, north and southbound. Okay, other than that, just for safety tip, just be for pedestrian safety, just be aware. Please wear light clothing, reflective clothing if you guys are walking around at night. Please utilize our marked crosswalks when there is a crosswalks available. We want to make sure we keep our pedestrians safe, and especially if we have children in the area and all that, please help them cross the roads with crosswalks. And hopefully, if they're walking around at night or going to the playgrounds, they're using light or reflective clothing. I noticed that some areas in our area it is really low lit, so highly visible clothing would help with the pedestrian safety. Other than that, I'll yield to Lieutenant Yamashita if you have some additional information to pass on.
Good evening. I just wanted to say we have a Coffee with a Cop event also coming up. It's going to be held on Friday, March 6th, and it's going to be at the 414 North School Street McDonald's. So it's the Liliha McDonald's, and it's going to be from 9 in the morning to 11 in the morning. So if you guys have time, please come out and speak with some of the officers. And at this time, we'll take any questions, comments, or concerns.
Okay, thank you, Lieutenant and Sergeant. Are there any questions for District 5 from the board? I am not seeing any, so we'll move on to, are there any questions from the general public for District 5?
None.
Okay, it looks like you guys get off easy too. So thank you very much for your report, and we'll see you next
Thank you.
month.
You guys have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good night. Happy New Year.
Okay, moving on, the next item on the agenda is Neighborhood Security Watch report. I don't think Paula Kirishige has logged on since the meeting started. Oh,
Hi.
Pat. Okay.
Um,
Are you taking for Paula?
Unfortunately, Paula is having really bad technical issues and I'm not with her to fix it for her. So she apologizes, but she won't be on today. As far as Neighborhood Security Watch is concerned, it not only starts from the outside of your house, but also in the inside. For those of you who have Wi-Fi, make sure that your Wi-Fi password is more than 10 characters long. Mine is 32, and that helps keep my network safe. So that's all for now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pat. Are there any questions from the board for our acting Neighborhood Security Watch reporter?
None.
Okay, I don't see any. So let's continue on to the general public. Are there any questions for neighborhood security from the general public?
None.
Okay, I also don't see any. So thank you very much for your report, Pat. And we'll move on to the Board of Water Supply. Is Jamie Llanos here?
Yes, he
Looks like
is.
he's in person.
In person.
Okay.
Happy New Year, everyone. Good evening. My name is Jimmy Llanos, and I'll be representing Board of Water Supply tonight. I'm going to start off with some updates on the Huiva and Dowsett Water Systems Improvements Project. We've received all necessary approvals from the State Historic Preservation Division, or SHIP-D. Our design standard for service laterals is being updated and is currently under revision. This change may eliminate the need for modifications to the cathodic protection systems already designed. The project work is expected to begin by summertime, barring any unforeseen circumstances, and we'll continue to keep the board informed as progress is made. For my main break report, there were no main breaks from December last year to report. So I'll move on to my general water announcements. And it's going to be about how conserving water now comes with bigger rewards. the Board of Water Supply, in partnership with the Department of Environmental Services, has expanded the Water Sensible Rebate Program, doubling many rebates. Residents can now receive higher rebates, such as $150 for Energy Star clothes washers, $200 for WaterSense labeled toilets, and $400 for smart water monitors. Commercial customers may also qualify for higher rebates on plumbing and kitchen equipment. The goal is simple: help people save money while using less water. Find out more at www.boardofwatersupply.com/rebates. And for folks in person, I also have this flyer. I placed it in the back if anyone was interested. So that concludes my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Just as a matter of community, Zoidel, would it be possible to get that handout scanned and posted on the neighborhood board G Drive?
Yes, we'll do.
I can send that to you again. An email to you.
Or a
I can
PDF form, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, great. Okay, let's move on to questions. So any questions
Mike-
from the board?
Mike, this is Audrey. I have a question.
Okay,
Hi, Jimmy.
ahead,
Happy
Audrey.
New Year. Thanks for the report. So you passed
Happy-
Shifty. Where's the building permit?
Oh, sorry. You're asking where is the building permit? Like,
Yeah, what stage is it, being that you guys passed Shifty? Because I thought Shifty was the only holdup, so now that Shifty signed off, what's the status of the building permit for the project?
the information I received did not mention the building permit status, but I can follow up with our team.
Can you
and
please
find-
let me know? Can you please let me know tomorrow? Because this whole time, almost 2 years, it's been Shifty. So now that Shifty signed off, the process is, where is it at the building department, and what's the status of the building permit? And then the second and last question, Mike, for Jimmy, is that you said the project might start in summer. Summer is 3 months. Can we get a more definite? Is it June, July, or August, just for now? And I know things can change, but what is it? Is it June, July, or August?
Okay, I'll ask our team for a more specific month in summertime when the project will start as well.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Jimmy. Thanks, Mike.
Okay,
Thanks, Audrey.
I also see member Smith with his hand up. Patrick Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Jimmy. Up on Pacific Heights where the water tank is, the grass around the tank just has been dead for a long time. And with all the rain that we've gotten, it never came back. So I'm just a lot of the residents here are just kind of wondering what happened. Did Board of Water Supply spray something on the grass to kill it, or what the if you could find out what happened, we're just curious. Thank you very much. That was it.
I'm sorry, Patrick, you said it was on Pacific Heights Road, the reservoir?
Yes, it's probably around the 2800 block. It's the water tank, so it's the water station on the road. Anyone who knows Pacific Heights is gonna, on the Board of Water Supply is gonna know it. So yeah, it should be about 2800 Pacific Heights Road. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll ask our team if they're aware of what happened with the grass around that tank. But thank you.
Okay, are there any more questions from board members?
Excuse me,
Go ahead,
But-
member Young.
Jimmy, I think it's the water tank that's close to Bonham Place. Isn't that the one, Patrick?
Yes, it's right across the street, but it's the only
Bonham
water
Place,
tank.
right?
I mean, there is one at the top, I
Yeah.
believe, of the top of the hill, but it's the only water tank in the residential community part. So I'm sure your team's going to know when you just say it. But like I said, it's around 2800, somewhere around there. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions from the board for the Board of Water Supply? Okay, seeing none, are there any questions from the general public?
None.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. We'll move on. Agenda item number 4.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for your report, Jimmy. Agenda item number 4. We have a large number of board vacancies in the Punchbowl district, 4 to be exact. I could really use some help here in the Punchbowl district. So is there anybody online or in person who would like to take one of those seats? Sylvia Young, you are not eligible for the seat, but I recognize your hand up.
I have a question. It's not only about the vacancy in sub-district 1, the 4 vacancies in sub-district 1, because I've asked people, I know a number of people that live in that area, and I've asked them, you know, if they would consider, I didn't have any response to that, but my question is, what about Mason's seat? We haven't seen him since we started this in July.
Yeah, I think for
And that's
that,
sub-district 2.
yeah, I agree. That one probably, well, we would have to do the, basically Mason's been absent 3 times, so we would have to ask whether he would want to stay, or if he's going to abandon
And
the seat.
he did take the oath of office, right?
Yeah,
So
actually, I don't know.
According
I don't
to
think
it,
he
yes.
did.
The neighborhood
okay.
assessment
According
said yes, he
to
did.
Yeah, according to the last, the previous NA, it's recorded that he actually took the oath of office, so.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll pass on the message to the board chair to have her
Yes.
put an agenda item on for next month's meeting, where we'll address the potential empty seat in sub-district 2.
Yeah, because that's how
Okay.
many meetings already.
We did have a break in December, so maybe one less, but
So
it's still, you're right.
July,
Yep.
August, September, October, November, that's 5. And today is the 6th one because
Yep.
we had, December we were off.
Yes. I will
Yes.
discuss it with Chair G, with the chair, so I'll keep it.
Okay.
Yeah, I will
Anything else,
discuss it
Member
with.
Okay, so back to the agenda item. I assume is there any interest in one of the 4 empty seats in Punchbowl District? And I'll assume that is a no. So let's move on to item number 5, reports from non-board events. Item A, there's the Papaleo community updates. It's under my name. However, we have a representative from the Papaleo Community Board here, Nulia. So please, the floor is yours. Oh, sorry, you're still muted.
Okay, aloha mai kako. I'm Lilia Kapuniai. I'm the executive director of the Papakulea Community Development Corporation. I asked for some time here to, I wanted to share my presentation, but okay, I won't. I asked for some time to provide an update to the neighborhood board on a project that we are working on in the Punchbowl area. In 2009, the community identified the development of a Native Hawaiian Education and Culture Center for the slopes of Puawaina on Auwaiolimu Street. Right now, the site has been overgrown by invasive species and has been home to many homeless encampments. July, we received site control from the Department of Hawaiian Homelands. We've held a number of community meetings and co-design meetings, and we are happy that we now have a master plan. We will be having a master plan and environmental assessment. We have conceptual drawings, and we're working on fundraising for phase 2 of the project, which includes the building permits, the detailed construction plans, and of course, capital infrastructure improvements. So I just wanted to let all of you know that we are moving forward on this. This is something that's been a priority of the homestead communities. And I was hoping to show you photos because it's going to be a really nice center. We understand some of the constraints of the area, but we do have technical experts within Group 70 that are working on that, on those items. And we are your neighbor. And so we will have this new center for our children and community. Primary target is the homestead community, but we, of course, will be serving Makiki and other areas. Mahalo.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any questions for Julia? From the board, I guess. Well, from me, I attended one of the community meetings you had a couple of months ago when they went over the mo'olelo of the Papakolea area. Are there going to be any more of those community meetings on the development project?
Yes. Yay. Okay, cool. Actually, I had that in my presentation. I don't know. I can't bring that up.
I think sharing is probably limited to board members, unless we have you on as an item.
So
But if you would
some of our, she should be able to.
Oh, she should be able
now?
to share.
Okay,
that.
let me try.
Okay.
Let me try. Was saying screen 1. Okay, let's try screen 2. See what it does. It's not. I'm trying to. See, you guys only see me. You don't see the share.
Correct.
Okay, wait. Share images, optimize motion, video, text. No. Dang it. I just showed this fancy thing. Okay, well, we are standing up a neighborhood watch too. And so we're having a training and we're having community very active. We have about 35 homesteaders that actively want to start neighborhood watch activities. I've purchased supplies. We're going to have golf carts for everyone, and everyone's going to start patrolling with their vests and their shirts. And we're doing CPR training. And so we're doing a 101 on safety watch next Monday. But we are doing more mo'olelo. I'm actually doing the first one in February, first Monday in February, and it's going to be on the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act and Prince Kuhio and the first homesteads, because Papakolea was one of the first homesteads established. But what's even more interesting is that the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act was amended in 1934 to include Papakolea. And so we see that as one of the most significant acts of self-determination for a community. So my first mo'olelo session, mo'olelo and mele is what we're calling it. I'm going to go through some of the significant parts of the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act, and then feature some of the mele or the music that is very popular and came out of Homestead. It was written and shared with the world by our artists from Papakolea and homesteads across the state. So I'm going to do that one. That's on February 2nd. And then we are also working to replace the basketball court. So I'm going to start the visioning and planning process for that. And with that, we will also have mo'olelo from the kupuna in the area who gifted the land back to the Department of Hawaiian Homelands to build the center that now is on site. So we'll have some mo'olelo around that and some storytelling, and I may have someone also do some music or share some photos, because we have a lot of photos that we've collected. There's the first 10 lessees that we have on record and all their families that now reside here. So we have a lot of history that we're going to start to share as we roll out this project. So yes, I think it's February 2nd. is the
Okay,
next one.
February 2nd. Is there a meeting?
Yeah, February
time
2nd.
For the neighborhood watch group?
Our neighborhood watch is, our first meeting is going to be on Monday, 6 o'clock. And so we're going to start to identify streets because we have some community members that are already patrolling the streets and already kind of checking in on folks. We've had one training by the Department of Hawaiian Homeland's Enforcement Unit. We had that back in September. And so community is very excited. I bought a bunch of supplies for everyone. So I think we're gonna this time really drill down on, okay, who's gonna take which street, who lives on this street, and commit to walking it, and getting everybody trained up in CPR, and just, you know, some contact numbers, emergency, some communication protocols, if you will, etc.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you for your
Thanks.
report. Are there any
Thank you for
questions?
having me.
You're welcome to come every month, by the way.
Thank you very much
And welcome
for that
to what?
information.
You're welcome to attend every month and give a report if you would like to do so. Or
Yeah,
email me and I can read a report too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I will probably end up doing so because as we're planning for all these projects, I just want to make sure, I feel like the more energy I put out in the universe helps me manifest the reality. And every little bit of kokua helps. So thank you for the invitation.
Okay, let's move on to questions from the board. Member Young, I see you have your hand up. Did you have a question? Sylvia, did you have a question?
Yeah. You know, since you're doing this sort of history of Papakolea, I think I was going to bring this up later in our community concerns. In September of 2025, the very first chairman of this neighborhood board, number 12, did a that's Clarence Ku-Ching. You've heard of him, right? Clarence. Well, Clarence passed in September and his services were just a week ago. And you know, this and since you brought up all this stuff about Papakolea, and I was wondering if you folks would borrow the film from the State Library or University of Hawaii. It actually, this video belongs to the state of Hawaii because it was done with state funds, you know, cultural and arts state funds. And it's called The Aina Remains. And it was produced in 1981, I want to say. But it's available, I know, at the UH Library as well as the State of Hawaii libraries. And I think it's also available on PBS.
Oh, okay.
And so I was wondering if you guys would play it in honor of Clarence, who did that with the Hawaii Film Festival, helped him produce that film, that video. And it talks about our neighborhood board and all of the historic sites of our neighborhood board.
Oh, beautiful.
History. So I think that it's something that I sort of wanted this board, which I was going to ask tonight, if they would want to see that film at our April's meeting, in-person's meeting, and all of the neighborhood could see it, but they actually could go and borrow it from the library. And I thought that would be something that would sort of, you know, because it tells the history of this neighborhood board 12 and which includes the Papakolea district. So, but anyway, that's something that you might want to consider to add to your program.
I love that. Thank you so much. It's always refreshing to acknowledge significant sites from a different lens, right? From the lens that it was produced. Because we look at the history through one lens. Well, we all have different lenses. But that it will be a refreshing perspective that I know that has not been shown here in
And I don't
know ever.
I don't think any other neighborhood board has done something like that for their area, you know, but I know that we did
Wow.
ours in 1981.
And that's about when the Papakolea video, when Edgy Lee produced the Papakolea video. I want to say it was 85, maybe 84, 85. So that there's a lot of rich footage in that. I can't wait to check it out. I so appreciate you bringing that to my attention, because I had just had an advisory committee meeting right before I hopped on. And I was asking members for suggestions on content, because I have content that I think is interesting. I'm not sure anybody else does, that I've researched. But this would be really exciting from another lens. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Anyway, it's called The Aina Remains. And
I got it.
And another place you could get a lot of this history from is the Judiciary History Center.
Oh, right. Right.
That's another source.
That's where Lani Ma'a used to work, yes. Judiciary History Center. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Have a good meeting. Aloha.
Oh, well, let's see if there's, I think we do have one more question coming up. Member Greavy, go ahead.
Hi. Hi, Lilia. Thank you for a wonderful report. Your enthusiasm and your exuberance and positivity is very, very uplifting and enlightening. And you sure would be a good member to be on our board. I know you must attend a million meetings a week, but and then it sounds like you also have a lot of enthusiastic people that you've corralled. And so is there anybody that you could think of who would want to serve on the board? And it's or do you know, can you share, like, is there any situation, I mean, is there any reason why you think we're missing, you know, all 4 slots?
You related to Puni?
Yes. Well, Puni retired from this position about 11 years ago. And then she retired to take care of her mama. And then I stepped in. I was on the board at the time. And then I stepped in to manage the organization. So yes, I do know Puni, and we have a good working relationship.
And then her daughter, what's her name?
And Ka'a Puni, yes. Yep.
Yes, she was on our board.
Yeah, what happened? Oh, well, they're not there.
You guys have the same last name.
I actually, well, a little bit different. I actually thought about it, but I'm kind of a, you know, in order to build a facility and community, you have to be a little nuts. And I'm not sure you want that kind of a nutbag on your board. But
we do.
I appreciate the offer. I have little ones, so I try not to sit on.
Well, yeah, I understand. I totally understand. But so if there's anybody you can think of to suggest, it's not really, you know, that much work, but it would be nice to have your community represented. That's because it's been kind of a long time now. We're missing Papakolea representation.
Okay. I will consider it. And I see a friend there. Hi, Lama. Aloha. So, But yeah, thank you for having me, and you will
Okay,
see me
thank-
more often, and I
thank
may
you.
consider that seat. So
Okay.
We'd love to have you.
Or any of your other enthusiastic people.
I will let them know. that
Okay,
they should get
thank you
involved.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions from the board?
No.
How about anything? And nobody from the, oh, you raised your hand again, Kathy? Is that?
Oh, no,
that
no,
is-
I
okay.
was trying to unraise it.
Okay, you're good. All right, really good. Thank you. And hopefully we'll
Thank
see you more in
you,
the
thank
future.
you.
Moving on. We normally have a report from Chairman G from the Oahu Metropolitan Planning Organization Statewide Transportation Project. She is not in attendance today, and there's no report on that meeting. So let's move on to agenda item number 6, which is residents and community concerns. So do we have anybody
do.
with issues?
Yeah, so we do have people here
Okay.
in person.
Okay. We recognize whoever's first there. I can't tell.
It's just yourself though.
Hi, good evening. My name is Leimuni Motoyama. And first of all, I'd like to thank you for the speeding traffic light that Joel Chu mentioned earlier. So we were really jumping for joy that we got that approved, and it's in the works to be put up in Nuʻuanu. But I have two requests, two concerns. One of them is I think they just put a left turn traffic light on Paoa and Kaniali'i Street. But I also think that they need another one on Paoa and what is that street? Hold on. I wrote it down somewhere. Paoa and Pacific Heights. It's really hard for the people who are turning left, because there's a lot of workers that work up in the care home up there, and they're coming and going and turning left on that side. And so, there's always, there's been several accidents every year. And I talked to the owner of Prim's, and he sees it all, and so I was just wondering to put in, I don't know who to talk to, but to put in a request for another left turn traffic light, because it's just, it's like hit or miss, they're trying to turn left, but people from the opposite side is trying to go straight, and it's, I think it would help make the traffic smoother. Yeah. My other concern is on Alvailimu. From Lusitana, you turn left to Alvailimu towards the end of the street by Nihoa Street. And I don't know when was the last time they ever paved that place. There's patches. I come from Kalavahine Homestead, right below Papakolea. And we're considered Makiki area, but there's a lot of patches, and it's just ruining the tires and hurting my neck. And I was hoping that they could repave that whole area. It's almost like a quarter of a mile, I think. It's very long, right? And so that was another concern. They could even put humps, because there's a lot of speeders over there. They speed, they don't care, but my main concern is really repaving it. I don't think they ever repaved it. There's patches all over the place. But I really wish they would repave it. Not quite sure why they haven't. So yeah, that's my concern. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll be sure to, Lisa Leonardo for the councilman, Tyler Dos Santos is here.
Even, Director Kim is also here, so.
So, yeah, so we actually have,
We actually,
Yeah.
I think,
okay, thank you.
So we do have a possibly comment from, I'm seeing Nathan Char.
Hi, this is Nathan Char. Yeah, I'm the neighborhood board chair for Makiki. And so I just heard the presenter's comments, and I would love to, if you put your name down in the chat, I'll be happy to take your concerns back to my board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, Member Smith, your hand was next.
Thank you, Chair. My comment would be, I take that left-hand turn to up to Pacific Heights quite a lot, and I would just be a little concerned the effects on traffic a left-hand turn signal would require on a being there on a consistent basis. Even though it does get backed up on occasion, I'm not sure that it would be warranted, but it would be interesting to hear from the couple that work at Prams, automotive. But I would just throw that out there that I'm, that would be a qualified, probably cautious attitude to putting that up, at least from my perspective. Thank you.
I believe the solution would be for the council member to recommend a traffic study or the feasibility of a left turn light at that intersection.
Well, if I could add that this issue has actually been looked at quite a bit, because when that first left-hand turn signal was actually put on Pacific Heights for that, Pacific Heights and Paoa, but it was actually on the Pacific Heights side street. It was the department, this board actually consulted with DTS about that intersection quite a bit, and there was a lot of resistance to that left-hand turn signal. So yeah, I mean, it would be fine to go to them and ask, but they should have a lot of information on that intersection, just so you know. Thank you.
Okay. So let's move on. Member Young, your hand was up next. Sylvia, do you have something?
Okay. Well, I was going to make a similar comment that Patrick just made, because that intersection was never designed that way originally. And I know that when they changed it, all of a sudden after what was a good 10 years, right? Somebody complained about it 10 years ago, and then they finally decided to change it to the way it is now. And it does get back up, and especially for us who want to go home, we get off the Poly Highway, and that left-hand turn line is so long, and because they have that parking in front of Lynn's Simon, which we also had another problem, that there's not enough space for us who need to go straight or to make the right turn into Paoa Road, or the residents that live in that lane right between Paoa Road and Lynn's Simon. So I don't know what's the situation can be now to change that, redesign that whole area, because now, I mean, yes, it's inconvenient for us residents who have to use that intersection. But so, for the people turning left to go on from Pacific Heights to go to Paoa Road towards Nuʻuanu Avenue, I don't know how you can fix it. And it's the same thing if you're on Paoa Road and you need to make that left turn into Pacific Heights Road, it does get back up. Because that's another way that we can get home. But, I don't know what kind of traffic engineers we have, but I don't know if that would solve a problem, is putting a dedicated left turn.
Okay, so it sounds like we would need some sort of
Right.
access to
That
the study
needs,
that
that
exists.
really needs to have some long discussions on that.
I
That
will,
situation.
sorry to interject, this is Zoidel. I will consult with Director Hashiro. I will put it down in the mayor's report for follow-up and possible traffic study or whatever that have been done before. So I'll put it on to further the
Okay.
discussion.
Oh, what
Okay.
does cat mean?
Yes. Member Groovy, your hand is up.
I just have a comment to add to Patrick's where and Sylvia, it did take 10 years for that, from the time somebody complained or raised the issue, for them to actually do it, put it into operation. And the thing is that even for those of us who've lived up here for 40 years, it's so confusing. I mean, not for me, but, and so I can see where accidents are happening because of that change. So to me, the whole thing could be redesigned. And I don't know what would be a good, but somebody has to come up with something better. Amen.
Okay, thank you. I see a hand from, oh, go ahead, Zoidel.
We do have one in-person individual here too as well.
Okay.
So after.
I think the hand here says Terry Easley, but I think it's like, oh no, it's not you.
Yes,
Let's go ahead.
Terry.
Terry Easley, not Jill Easley. So Terry Easley, you're recognized.
Hi, I was kind of curious as to what would we could consider a billboard, because I noticed there's a very large billboard on Ahi Street on Nuʻuanu-Punchbowl. And then I noticed one in Paoa too. It's quite large advertising. It's like a billboard, but it's not as high, of course. But what constitutes a billboard for Hawaii? Does anybody know?
That might be a question for the mayor's representative or the council member's representative. So perhaps we can have them look into it for you.
Yes, because that billboard, it's a very, I'd say it's like an 8x5 or a 7x5. It's a pretty big advertiser for a construction company that's right on the main highway. Yeah, I
Okay.
would like to get that information
Okay.
if at all
We'll pass that
possible.
on to the representatives.
Thank you very much.
Member Greavy, your hand is up again.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we do have
in person.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Aloha, aloha board. My name is Hailama Farden, and I'm the Senior Director of Hawaiian Cultural Affairs with the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. The Office of Hawaiian Affairs seeks to build pilina, good relationships with our various neighborhood boards that house our Native Hawaiians and Hawaiians. And being that this neighborhood board 12 embraces Papakolea and of course Paua, and of course because our Hawaiians are all over the place, we are beginning to, I guess, again, build relationships and pilina with our neighborhood boards. So in the future, I will be asking to perhaps present quarterly to you all. And today I see that in committee concerns, I have 3 minutes. So I'll be as quick as possible. I'm here basically, number one, to introduce myself. And number two is to share with you some, at a very, very high level, the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, of course, will be partaking, like most of the state, in the opening ceremonies for the opening legislature tomorrow. The Office of Hawaiian Affairs has 6 interests in 6 bills, and they will consist of our 2026 legislative package. And very quickly, the first one is related to island burial councils. In some of the neighboring islands, it's been very difficult to hold quorum. And so it'll allow the Office of Hawaiian Affairs to help with the appointment of replacement council, burial council members, so that we can actually handle some of the business. Another is related to historic preservation and considering that the Office of Hawaiian Affairs can make recommendations to those who sit on the committee and help assure that there are experts in different areas and specific fields. Related to land commission use, we have a goal to ensure that water expertise is part of the land use commission, and we would seek that at least one member does hold that expertise in water. OHA 4 is related to commercial aquarium collection, and the Office of Hawaiian Affairs does support the request of communities across our archipelago here to protect native reef fish for subsistence and cultural use. And of course, we would have more details, and I'm able to help that. And OHA 5 is a proposing constitutional amendment to prohibit live fire military training on significant sacred sites that are leased sites and not necessarily those, we're not asking for those under the control of federal government or the federal government lands. These are under our crown lands and leased sites. And OHA 6 related to rent stabilization. Of course, I think that's self-explanatory. And this is, of course, continuing on with other efforts similar to that. When I joined the Office of Hawaiian Affairs in 2024, I retired from the Kamehameha schools after 31 years. And even though I was very familiar with Hawaiian Affairs issues, I was shocked to really learn that Hawaii revised statutes and Hawaii laws really specifically draw out the work of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. I was surprised to know that the Office of Hawaiian Affairs is the 4th branch of government in the state of Hawaii, and that the state of Hawaii is the only, I believe, the only state that has 4 branches of government. And so the Office of Hawaiian Affairs more recently has really taken a forward-facing approach to addressing the interests of the Hawaiians and Native Hawaiians in our community. And finally, I did want to invite all those of you who have passion for Olelo Hawaii, Hawaiian language. As we approach February, which is Hawaiian Language Month, we are going to be hosting something called La Kūkahe at the Office of Hawaiian Affairs on February 14th. And this is Hawaiian Language Day. We'll be honoring some of the forerunners of the Aha Hui Olelo Hawaiian Language professional organizations, such as Dr. Larry Kimura, Sarah Piahi, who began this organization over 53 years ago. And then if you're interested, please feel free to reach out to us at oha.org. The La Kūkahe Hawaiian Language Festival, LKK at oha.org. And finally, I did bring some items that I'm going to leave here with the neighborhood board assistant, but I do have some for those who are here. And I actually could leave the remainder if there's a way of conveying it, if any of you are interested. They are the December and January Kawaiʻola o Oha. And this is our monthly publication, a lot of information. And I would highlight that in the January issue, it also contains our annual report. And I brought some physical papers, booklets of the annual report. I think it's important that as we are interested in being a community, but to provide you this kind of information so you have the annual report of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. With that, I'm open to any question. I apologize for going over the 3 minutes, but I look forward to remaining engaged with you.
Okay, thank you for that. Do we have any questions? Doesn't appear that we do. I assume there's none in person. Can't really tell.
Thank you very much.
Are there any other residents or community concerns? Pat, go ahead.
Okay, this has to do with Pali Highway and the Wood Street crosswalk. I know you guys are tired of hearing of this. State of Hawaii Department of Transportation decided to make a zigzag crosswalk. And what they did was they created the biggest trip hazard I have ever seen. The way they built it was a curb that's like 4 inches high that you can trip over. And I tripped over it. It was 6:45 in the morning. It's dark. It was raining. It was windy, and I tripped over it, but I didn't fall. I was lucky enough to write myself up. By then, I was in the roadway. I could have been hit by a car. Thank goodness there was no traffic at that moment. But this trip hazard needs to be fixed, not next year's budget or next month. You need to fix it now. Someone will trip over that, end up lying in the roadway, and they will get run over by a car. So I hope that they will check this out and fix it. If you don't want to take away the curbing, that's fine, but put posts up so people can't go through there. They will have to go around it because right now it's very difficult. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And we'll be sure that that also gets on to the appropriate representatives too during this meeting. Okay, final call for any residents or community concerns. Okay, seeing none. Let's move on to our official reports. First up is reports from the mayor's office. Director Kimishiro, I think I saw you here. Do you have a report for us?
Hi, yes, I do.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. So I will be putting a link to the mayor's monthly newsletter in the chat, but just some highlights. The mayor did extend a Happy New Year message outlining last year's accomplishments and this year's top priorities. Chief Kurt Lager was sworn in as the first commission-appointed leader of the Honolulu Ocean Safety Department. Details on an impressive improvement to the water rebate program offered by the Department of Environmental Services and the Board of Water Supply, which was summarized by the BWS representative a little earlier, are also included. Details on new flood insurance rate maps from the Federal Emergency Management Agency that residents in low-lying areas should be aware of. And construction gets underway on improvements to the second floor of the Waianae Police Station. So I'm going to switch over to responses to questions or concerns that were raised during the last neighborhood board meeting. So I don't know if Joe Easley is on tonight, but her recurring request for investigation regarding a car rental business at 2610 Henry Street was reviewed again by the DPP, and they did send out inspectors, and their inspections did not reveal any evidence that a rental car business is being operated from this address. As previously stated, the fact that the business license lists this address as the agent's mailing address does not by itself establish that business activity is occurring at this location. Also, multiple websites associated with the business indicate that vehicles are located at a different address. Even if rental vehicles are observed in the vicinity of Henry Street, this alone does not necessarily demonstrate that the business is being operated from this residence. So that is what DPP reported back. And I don't know, Jill, are you on tonight?
There is one.
Doesn't.
Sorry, I could not unmute myself. I am here.
Oh, hi, Joe.
Hi.
So, you know, because this seems to be an ongoing disagreement regarding this location, I think we need to try a different approach. So what I'll do is I'm going to ask if you're willing. You have been willing, you know, to be contacted, and so I'm gonna ask DPP if we could set up a meeting and talk about this, because it doesn't seem like bringing this up at the neighborhood board meetings and waiting for a response is really showing progress on this concern, or providing progress on this concern for you. So are you okay with that?
Sure. I mean, it's not just me that's complaining. There's several of our other neighbors, especially over on Henry Street. So has the DPP talked to any of the people that are nearby?
I know when the inspector came out, you did meet with the inspector, and the inspector took pictures of cars. There's no report of talking to neighbors, but if you can gather your neighbors, or if neighbors or yourself could provide photos and videos, that's what DPP is stating would help them in their
Okay.
investigation.
Okay. Definitely. You can provide my personal number over to them. And I'm sure many of those neighbors on Henry Street can all jump on board and talk to them as well about what they've experienced.
Okay, I think it would be better if are you able to get in contact with them? These are your neighbors. Do you live right in that area, or do you
So
pass it?
I'm one street over, so I pass it. And I actually
Okay.
didn't meet with the inspector. I happened to be driving by at that time while all those cars were parked out there. So that's when they were doing the investigation. And then I saw him out there and I spoke with him while he was there.
Oh, okay. So you spoke with him.
Yes.
Were you able to find his name? I know last meeting you were going to try and check to see if you had written it down.
No, I didn't have any notes on that. I gave him my information and he was gonna reach out to me, so I never heard from him.
Okay. Yeah, so why don't we do that? I think that let's try to take a different approach to this situation and see if we can set up a meeting.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay. Okay, so moving on to the next several requests for clearing overgrown vegetation near 2077 Puawaina Drive, and also the stream grate and ducts at 3148 Alika Avenue. DFM requested more time to look into this concern. And for the second one, which they still need more time to look into, they're asking if Paula, who I know is not on tonight, could provide contact info for herself. And what they want to know is a specific grate. They want to know which grate is of concern to her. So if if Zoidel, if you could reach out to Paula and ask her for that, that would be helpful.
Yes, will do.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to the next concern. So this one is positive. We have a positive response from DTS. So this was school zone signage at Nuʻuanu Elementary. And DTS responded that posted speed limits on roadways owned and operated by the city that border the school will be lowered from 25 miles to 20 miles per hour between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. on school days to improve roadway safety for Keiki and community members. In addition to the speed limit signs themselves, DTS will be installing and replacing school zone signs that are missing or faded. Just to note, they are stating that there are well over 200 schools on Oahu, and likely over 1,000 signs will ultimately need to be replaced to implement this on a large-scale effort. And given resource limitations, the project will be rolled out in phases. They're currently in procurement for a master agreement to streamline implementation. They anticipate that approximately 2 to 3 school zones per district will be addressed in the first phase, given available funding, and that Nuʻuanu Elementary will be one of the first school zones to be addressed. The last issue that was reported was regarding a Pali Highway bus stop sign blocking the bus from the curb. And DTS's response was that yellow delineators were installed by state DOT. And DTS is currently investigating the matter with OTS and their drivers. So the concern was that bus drivers were pulling up to the curb and forcing seniors to step off the bus onto the curb. So they are discussing that with OTS. And that's the end of my responses to last meeting's questions. I was also taking notes regarding the concerns that were brought up in the previous section. And we'll need Zoidel's help in identifying the exact intersections and areas, but I do have them listed down and we will be following up. Some of this may not be the city, but if it is another agency, I know definitely at least one of them is probably with state DOT. So we will refer that.
Okay, thank you, Director Cheryl. Are there any questions for the mayor's representative from the board? Okay, go ahead, Pat.
Just to let you know that the signage that was in the roadway on Pali Highway has been removed and moved to the sidewalk. So now the buses can pull alongside the sidewalk to let passengers out. And they can also use their wheelchair ramp because the buses have to be parked a certain way in order for the wheelchair ramp to be used. So the signage that was in the roadway has been moved onto the sidewalk by, I guess, the DOT. So that's all good now.
Okay, that's good to hear. Thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions or comments from the board? I do have one for you. So in regards to the overgrowth near 2077 Pool Wina, that was trimmed back. It was very nicely done. The only issue is they left all the debris in the gutters and clogging the storm drain. So the vegetation is gone, but the debris is still in the gutters and the storm drain. So if they get back to you, can you mention that to them?
Okay, we'll report that.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions or comments from the general public for the mayor's representative? Go ahead, Terry Easley. Terry, you're recognized.
Hi,
Terry,
can you hear,
oh,
can you hear
yep,
me now?
we can hear you now. Thank you.
I was wondering if the mayor's representative could answer the question about the billboard type sign that I was talking about earlier on Ahi and Pali Highway.
Oh, I did list that down, Terry, so that is on our list for follow-up.
Mahalo. Mahalo. Okay, thank you.
Right, thank you. Are there any other questions or comments from the general public? Okay, seeing none, thank you, Director Cheryl. Let's move on to the Councilmember Tayo dos Santos Tam's representative, Lisa Leonardo. You're recognized.
Hi, aloha everyone, chair, board, and attendees. Lisa Leonardo from Councilmember dos Santos Tam's office. I have about 4 points to share with you this evening, one of which was from his January 2026 newsletter. So on Wednesday, December 10th, the Planning Commission passed Resolution 25-105, which council member introduced to advance updates to the land use ordinance for apartment and apartment mixed use districts. The proposal focuses new housing growth in areas already planned for higher density, helping create more affordable and market rate homes while respecting established neighborhoods. It is an important step toward addressing Honolulu's housing shortage in a thoughtful and community-driven way. And then some updates. In 2021, part of the concrete rubble masonry or CRM wall supporting Nuʻuanu-Punchbowl Drive, about 40 feet worth, collapsed when a tree rooted at the bottom of the wall fell over toward Nuʻuanu stream below. I believe it was a banyan tree. The Board of Land and Natural Resources is set to approve on Thursday the city's right of entry into state lands to do the repair. Council members sent in a letter of support for the right of entry, and this is one of the final steps before the contractor can do the repairs. Several months ago, our office set up a meeting between Department of Design and Construction and Henry Street residents. The Henry Street has been added to the existing Laimi Street and Dow Street drainage project. And the overall project is in preliminary design phase, and it's anticipated to go to bid in 2027. And last, Councilmember Dos Santos Tam continues to oppose bus fare increases. The final vote for that is scheduled for next Wednesday, that's January 28th at Council. The fare increases would increase the monthly pass by $10, so $120 a year, and add a 25-cent surcharge for cash fares. So boarding with cash would go from $3 to $3.25. Polo cards would still be $3 swipe. And just again, he's still opposing those bus fare increases. That's all that I have. I will include this in the chat and willing to take any questions.
Okay, do we have any questions for the council members rep from the board? Okay, I do not see any. Are there any questions from the general public? I see Terry Easley still has your hand up. Is that still from the previous person, or do you have a question for the council members rep? I will assume that means your hand is still up from the previous representative. Okay, keeps going up and down.
I think she has a question. Okay, she took it off.
Okay, I am seeing no questions from the general public then. So thank you, Lisa, for the report.
Thank
and
you.
We'll see you next month.
Happy New Year.
Let's move on to the governor's representative. I do see we have somebody from the DCCA here.
Aloha. Hi, everyone, and Happy New Year. I just want to share a few newsletter highlights from Governor Green's January 2026 newsletter, and then I'll also provide that in the chat once I'm done. So first, it starts off with Governor Green's priorities for the upcoming 2026 legislative session. So just some highlights for that is expanding access to safe, affordable housing, strengthening our healthcare system, addressing homelessness and climate change. Also on that note, I did want to mention that tomorrow, Wednesday, January 21st, 2026, will be the Hawaii State Senate and House of Representatives convening for opening day to kick off the second year of the 33rd legislature. So opening remarks will begin at 10 a.m. The public is welcome to attend, although seating is limited. And then for anyone unable to attend in person that would like to watch, proceedings will also be live streamed on both the Hawaii House and Senate YouTube channels. Second, the Department of Human Services has launched the new pilot program known as the Hawaii Child Wellness Incentive Program, where families enrolled in Medicaid and MedQuest can earn $50 per child for completing annual well child checkups and examinations. Third, the Hawaii Green Infrastructure Authority, so HGIA, has announced the availability of $18 million in green energy market securitization, so GEM loans, to help nonprofits, small businesses, and underserved communities lower their energy costs. And then lastly, the state has begun phase 1 of the groundbreaking housing project, Kuhio Park housing project, which will provide about 304 new affordable housing units for renters earning between 30 to 80% of the area median income. So all of these will be in the newsletter along with a few more initiatives, and I'll go ahead and put that in the chat too. And that's all.
Okay, thank you for your report. Are there any questions or comments from the board or the governor's representative? Okay, I'm not seeing any. Just a reminder that there were several comments on Poly Highway items.
Yes.
So the Wood Street
Yes, yeah,
crosswalk.
I have those
Oh, sorry.
noted,
Okay.
along with the billboard, just in case
the
that's
billboard,
something that I can respond to as well.
Okay, great. Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from the general public? Okay, seeing none. Thank you once again for your report, and we'll see you next month. Let's move on to Senator Carl Rhodes. I believe he has a representative here.
Hi, can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, you're great. Thank you.
All right, perfect. Hi, good evening, everyone, chair, members of the board. Unfortunately, Senator Rhodes couldn't make it tonight, but my name is Mia. I'm a legislative aide working for him this session. So if you see me coming to these meetings more often, just a heads up. Just a couple highlights for you folks for tonight. Just as a heads up, AARP Hawaii is sponsoring a free seminar on how to stop fraud before it starts. It's going to outline some practical steps in order to outsmart scammers, especially in the age where artificial intelligence and cryptocurrency is becoming a lot more prevalent. The seminar will be taking place on Monday, February 23rd from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. It's going to be at the Japanese Cultural Center of Hawaii. Free breakfast will be provided. I'll provide in the chat the details on how to register for the event. And then the second thing that I have to highlight for you folks is that just in response to the numerous safety concerns you've received from some residents in the area, Senator Rhodes wrote a letter to the Department of Transportation requesting the installation of a speed camera at the intersection of Poly Highway and Country Club Road. We are waiting to hear a response back for this letter. We will update you folks when we receive the response. Third point that I want to bring up on behalf of Senator is that the Executive Office on Early Learning has a new online resource called First 5 Hawaii. This website is set up to help families across all islands identify resources and programs they may be eligible for and help streamline the process of accessing these programs. The website can be found at first5hawaii.org. I will also include this in the chat. And then, as you folks may know, I know it was mentioned in some other reports that tomorrow is going to be the opening day of the legislature for tomorrow. Even though it's the second year of the biennium, so it's going to be a bit smaller. If you're at the Capitol, our office will be providing some refreshments, so please feel free to stop by and say hi. It is Senator's last session. So yeah, that's all for my report. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to contact us, call our office, or contact Senator Rhodes at sendrhodes@capitol.hawaii.gov for his email. But yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you for your report. Do we have any questions or comments from the board? I'm not seeing any, so let's move on to the general public. Any questions or comments for the Senator's representative? Looks like you're getting off easy. So, well, we'll see you again next month. Thank you for your report.
Thank you.
Next up
Have a good
is Representative Jenna Takanuchi. I see she is here in person. So you have the floor.
Hi, thank you. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Happy New Year. I know we're getting to the end of the month, but haven't seen you guys, so Happy New Year. Just really quickly, yes, if you are going to be joining us at opening day, please open an invitation to my office. I'm in room 333 on the 3rd floor. We're going to be featuring some of the baked goods from Lanakila Pacific's kitchen, their catering arm. We have some everything cookies and some of their scones, which I just found out, you know, they do in mini sizes. So I got a platter, some platters of those. If you want to come by for a snack, please feel free. We should be wrapping up maybe around 11, I think, and then we're allowed to kind of host meet and greets till 2 p.m. Secondly, I did want to just flag, I'm kind of compiling the last of the People's Voice survey that I mailed out kind of end of December, early January. So if you still have that in your mailbox, feel free to still spill it out, return it by mail, or I will put the online version in the chat. This year I also made a little guide with some kind of like follow-up information of, previous bills and news articles on each of the topics featured in the survey, since sometimes people would say, oh, like I don't feel like I know enough about this to, make a choice. So that was just to kind of help hopefully be a little more information to help inform your decisions on that. It's things that I think are going to be coming up this year. So looking forward to seeing what everybody thinks. Again, I'll put those in the chat after I finish my report. And then just really quickly, I heard Senator's office featuring the fraud class by AARP. Did want to let you know that I am working with AARP, and I believe Senator's actually doing the companion measure this year, where we're really trying to crack down on cryptocurrency ATMs. These are ATMs where a lot of, especially kupuna who might not be familiar with cryptocurrency are being tricked into using them to get scammed. They tell you to go to the bank, get a lot of money out, and then take it to these locations. They'll walk you through how to put in an account number and put your cash in, and once your cash is converted to this cryptocurrency, it's very, very hard to recover. So working with AARP on some of that, hopefully if we can get some hearings for that, if anyone's interested in submitting testimony, I'll be sharing that update on the House side in my e-newsletter, which I think most of the board should be on also. And then just one quick thing the community might be interested in. HMSA sent us some information about a Kama'aina Scholarship Award program that they run annually. So if you know anybody, high school seniors who are looking to get some of their achievements in academics, athletics, or community service recognized, there are 15 scholarships for $5,000 each that can be used, for their college education, including things like tuition, books, computers, room and board, like the whole gamut. So there's an application that's going to be due in February, but if you have, I'll put the link to the scholarship page in the chat. And if you know any, seniors coming up on graduation, they might want to look into it to get a little bit help as they kind of start their college plans next fall. That's kind of all I had. If there's any questions, I'm happy to take anything back to the office for the board.
Hey, thank you, Representative Takamichi. Do we have any questions or comments from the board? Okay, seeing none. Any questions or comments from the general public? Okay, so Happy New Year, and it's good to see you again. Hopefully see you next month.
Great, thanks everybody. Take care, reach out anytime.
Okay, finally, are there any representatives or actual federally elected officers and elected officials present that wish to give an additional report? We don't see any. Moving on, meeting minutes. We do not have quorum, but I don't think we vote on meeting minutes anyway. So does anybody have, do we need to do a motion to do anything with them?
You can unless.
Well, Chair, can I
Yes, please.
add something? Actually, adopting or doing that sort of thing is taking an action, so it really does need to have. We need to have a quorum. So we haven't actually voted, but it's more of like we do it without objection in that case. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll have to push off the
Yes.
November meeting minutes until we do have quorum. Moving on, agenda item 9 is presentations. We have none this week. Agenda item 10 is board business for discussion only. We have 3 items. First is update on the poly transportation projects. Ryan Nagata could not be present tonight, although he did send an update via email to Chair G and myself, specifically regarding Mr. Oyama's noise issues and the testing methodology. Apparently, the DTS has met with Mr. Oyama, and they wanted to go out and do a second round of testing. However, it was raining and they couldn't do the testing. They are waiting again to have a day with good weather to complete the second round of testing. Is Mr. Oyama present?
No.
Okay, I don't see him. Does anybody else have an update on any of the Poly Highway for the board business and the agenda items? Okay, let's move on. Item B is Punchbowl cesspools projects. There is no update. We still have no sewer in certain parts of Punchbowl. So here we are. Agenda item C, or 10C, is the annual in-person board meeting. I can give an update on this. We have reserved the Po'oa Elementary cafeteria for our April 21st meeting. We have to be completely out of there by 9 p.m. So in order to meet that time, we will start that meeting we are proposing to start that meeting 30 minutes early and end by 8:30 so that we have everything cleaned up. However, we need to have a vote on this. So we should carry this over until next month, and we can vote on having the in-person meeting in April. Actually, I went through those last two items very quickly. Is there any questions on any of those two items that I just went over? Yeah, go ahead, Sylvia.
Okay. How many members we have tonight here?
I believe we're at 7.
7. Okay. So we have 11. So there's 4 people missing, which would be Ray, Mason. Who else is missing? Kulana Lee.
Yeah.
And Paula.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's the 4 that's missing tonight. Okay. I guess we really have to hustle to get those 4 members, that 4 seats filled, because that's a lot for us to be missing, you know, for one meeting. And okay. So we'll hold this to February's meeting, right?
Correct.
Okay. And can we add something else to February's meeting? Can we ask the board if they want to see that film, and I could make arrangements so that we could look at that film, The Aina Remains, in honor of our late very first chairman of the board of this neighborhood board. He was a founding member, and he was also the first Oahu trustee.
I put down a note, and I'll pass that on to Chair G to put it as an agenda item.
Pass that on to see if
I
we
will
could,
point out that our in-person meeting in April, we are extremely time limited.
I know, and so I think that's you know, if we plan for it, I think we might be able to get it in, because I think it's important for this neighborhood board to know what we have in our neighborhood, and maybe you'll understand our neighborhood a little bit better.
Okay, so we can take up discussion for this with the agenda item. That way we can also propose potential alternatives to that. Member Greavy, I see your hand up. You're muted.
How long is the film, Sylvia?
I can't remember, because
I mean,
I've seen it
roughly
several
is like
times.
an hour.
I mean, we can find out by before next week how it wasn't it wasn't really like 2 hours long or anything like that. It wasn't that long, but it was a really good film that categorized all of our historic area in this neighborhood board. And that's why it was important for Papakulea to know about it too, because it talks about, all of this stuff.
Okay, so we can discuss this a little bit more. Maybe Sylvia, you can look into exactly how long the movie is and have that ready for next month.
Yeah, I'll have it ready so she'll know, if we can fit it in somehow for our
Right.
April agenda. And if we are going to have it at Pa'o School, I think I don't know if we can put back the signs out so that people would know that that meeting will be
So
at
we can
Pa'o
discuss.
School.
We can
But
discuss
only thing I
the
think
meeting
the
during
thing
the
says
agenda
7
item.
o'clock, and we gotta somehow change it to 6:30.
Yes, all that will be handled during the agenda item next month. We can
Yeah.
have that discussion
So
then.
you can that's one of the things to talk about, putting out a sign in our communities to know that it's an in-person meeting. Because we had people before pandemic that wanted to come to the meetings, but it was convenient for them to come at Pa'o School, but they're not on the computer or they won't go down to Kapolei Hali.
Right.
Not no Kapalama Hali.
Okay, so we'll have that vote to approve that meeting time next week, or sorry, next month. And we can also discuss the agenda items with the movie. So do we have any, there is no any, let's try that again. There are no more.
Are we at announcements?
We're trying to get there, yes.
Oh.
So item number 11 is announcements. The main announcement is our next regular board meeting will be held on February 17th at 7 p.m. live in person at Kapalama Hale or on WebEx video link to be supplied with the meeting minutes either online or in the mailer. Any other announcements?
Yes.
Go ahead, Sylvia.
Okay. February 17th is Chinese New Year. And but I wanted to announce that on February 14th, it's what we call Night in Chinatown, but it really starts at 9 in the morning to the evening. And it has because it has a parade at 4:30, the Chinatown parade. And during the day and following the parade, the street will be blocked off. So, to have the celebration for the Chinese New Year. It's on February 14th. So, if the public it's open to the public, it's free. And so I encourage people to go visit Chinatown on February 14th, Valentine's Day.
Okay, thank you, Sylvia. Are there any other announcements? Seeing none, we can't move to adjourn, so I declare the meeting adjourned. We will see you all next month.